For Cybercrime Radio, I'm Charlie Osborne. This is Redefining Authentication, a Cybercrime magazine podcast series brought to you by Keyless Technologies, which offers strong, privacy-focused, passwordless authentication that dramatically reduces ATO fraud whilst improving the user experience for customers and the workforce. To learn more about our sponsor, visit keyless.io. Joining me today is Dalibor Panić, VP of Engineering at Keyless. Dalibor, welcome and thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Charlie. Hi, everyone, to the listeners. It's great to be here on the podcast, so thank you.
In today's episode, we'll be discussing biometrics and authentication. Can you start by introducing yourself and telling us a bit about your background in engineering and biometrics?
Absolutely. So my name is Dalibor Panić. I'm an engineering leader with over 20 years of experience in the software industry, specializing in delivering products in the biometric space. That's the majority of my career spent in that area, and scaling software organizations. I started initially as an engineer. My journey has taken me from leading small teams to now today overseeing global engineering organization. Currently, I'm working as a VP of engineering at Keyless, where I lead the engineering team, try to drive innovation and align with our company's strategic goals. In the past companies I worked as a senior director of engineering at Happiest Baby, a company in the med technical sector, also overseeing all the engineering efforts. And before that, I spent over 15 years at Daon, another biometric company where I played a role in designing and delivering biometric solutions and products across the globe. I launched a variety of biometric products working with fingerprint, face, voice, and documents. So that's about it.
So when it comes to your technology, what specific problem does your technology aim to solve? And how does it differ from other biometric authentication methods?
So biometrics today are the most secure form of authentication that can provide genuine identity of a user. And today we really can distinguish two categories of biometric authentication that are different in a way that they process and store biometric data. Local biometrics, like in case of Apple, Face ID and previously Touch ID, they process and store biometric data on the device. It never leaves the device. Centralized biometrics, the second way, is like those used by a majority of the companies on the market, like iProof and Daon itself. They process biometric data on the device and store it on a centralized cloud server or on-premise with basically mostly cloud servers such as AWS. Local biometrics can always be considered more privacy-focused as biometric data never leaves the device. So basically everything stays on the device. The centralized system is more user-friendly as the user can keep their biometrics if the original device is lost. It's much easier to recover. Centralized biometric system, they create repositories of the biometric data. They usually use the hash-based encryption, which can be actually reverse engineered to reveal the original biometric template used to create the hash. So that's basically the risk of the centralized. So what is the difference here, what we do at Keyless? Keyless never stores biometric data, ensuring complete privacy and removing centralized cloud-based repositories as a target. What we see in the recent years is that decentralized, and that's how we call this today, the decentralized biometrics emerged as a new category. Gartner recognized this in 2001. Decentralized vendors use privacy-preserving technologies to connect biometric data. So how does Keyless do that? Keyless protects biometric data by using a cryptographic technique known as secure multi-party computation, or SMPC for short.
We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsor.
Say goodbye to passwords, PINs, and OTPs, and welcome to passwordless authentication with Keyless. As the leader in privacy-preserving biometrics, Keyless can authenticate your customers and employees without storing their biometric data anywhere. With a fast-growing customer base in the banking, fintech, and gaming sectors, join us as we redefine how the world authenticates. To learn more, visit keyless.io.
And now, back to the podcast.
Can you elaborate on how Keyless utilises SMPC technology? Why was it chosen for your product and what are its advantages?
So Keyless was actually founded on that belief. The founders, they believe that the user should be able to seamlessly and securely authenticate just with a simple look across all devices that everybody does today, but without putting their biometric data at risk. So the critical innovation here, what Keyless is using, that we use the cryptographic technique, as I mentioned, known as secure multi-party computation, which first transforms biometric data on the device in such a way that no longer legally constitutes as a biometric data when it's stored in a cloud. So neither us at Keyless nor the cloud provider can access or decrypt the actual biometric data once it has left the device. This method keeps data private, as with local biometrics, same as do, while leveraging cloud infrastructure for scalability and accessibility as decentralized biometric tools. We are the only company really to do and transform data in this way. So what Keyless has created is something what we call a zero-knowledge biometric concept. It's a groundbreaking approach that biometric data storage that combines the advantages of both local and centralized biometric systems. We process on device, and then we store it to cloud. With this approach, the benefits are big, really, because Keyless can help businesses remain GDPR or CCPA in California compliant, as no biometric data is processed nor stored. So we're legally qualified in that way.
So we've spoken about the benefits, but what are the challenges of implementing SMPC technology in real-world applications?
Yeah, challenges are present. Obviously, with working with something like this, where we have no access to data to train with, maintaining user privacy while training models is a very critical consideration here as Keyless. We take the challenge seriously, and that's why we have implemented a very robust approach to data collection model training. We never train end-user data because we don't have access to end-user data. It's very important. Instead, we opt to perform and commission targeted data collection sessions with specific goals in mind. So these design collections we create with focus on representing diverse demographics, multiple ethnicities, age ranges, environment conditions, and other factors. With that, we're able to fine-tune our system to still achieve excellent performance across a wide range of settings and demographics. So it is challenging, but at the same time, it's quite important. We believe that prioritizing user privacy and security is essential to building trust and delivering high-quality results. That's why we're committed to continue to invest in these efforts and drive innovation using SMPC.
And finally, how have your customers or users responded to the deployment of your SMPC-based biometric authentication solution? And what have the benefits been?
The response has been incredibly positive. What we see from the users is they appreciate the frictionless authentication process. It's super fast. We do things on device, seamless. And at the same time, they appreciate also the complete privacy. We don't need the passwords or tokens. It's been a game changer, reducing user frustration. They can rely on their biometrics for authentication while still maintaining complete privacy. So it's incredibly positive, and the clients and the end users we talk about really appreciate the fact that you can still use biometric without exposing your private data. From a security standpoint, the deployment has significantly reduced the risk of data breaches, as the biometric data is never stored or processed in a single location. Instead, it's fragmented and encrypted, making it almost impossible for any malicious actors to gain access to sensitive information. Ultimately, the benefits are clear. Enhanced security, improved privacy, and a smooth user experience that makes biometric authentication very trustworthy and user-friendly.
Thank you for joining us today, Dalibor, and sharing your expertise.
Thank you very much.
For Cybercrime Radio, I'm Charlie Osborne. Redefining Authentication is a Cybercrime magazine podcast series brought to you by Keyless Technologies, which offers strong, privacy-focused, passwordless authentication that dramatically reduces ATO fraud while improving the user experience for customers and the workforce. To learn more about our sponsor, visit keyless.io. And for more of our media, visit our website at cybersecurityventures.com.